Step 1. I'm going to connect my red wire from the battery to the switch, and I'm going to connect the yellow wire around the rivet to the switch. So let me connect my red wire first, going from my battery to my switch, push down, make that part of the circuit complete, but my circuit is still open. Now I'm going to wrap my yellow wire around my rivet. Now the first thing I need to do is make sure that I have enough slack on the yellow wire so that I can hook it up to the conductor on the battery. So I'm going to wrap it around, but give it about 1 inch or 4 right there so that I can connect it to the conductor on my battery. Connect it to the conductor. Still have an open circuit, so I need to make sure that I connect the rest of my yellow wire, still got a bunch here, to my switch. And now we have a closed circuit when I press the switch. Now you'll notice my electromagnet doesn't work because my coil is not wrapped around. So that's what we're going to do in step 2. Let's just look at this. It's not wrapped. Step 2. Getter number 2 is going to wrap the yellow wire around the top of our rivet. So you've got all this extra yellow wire and you need to wrap it around the top, around this part of the black plastic ring of your rivet. So I'm wrapping it around the top. It doesn't need to be perfect. You can go maybe a little bit that way, but get a bunch of coils going on the top. You've still got all this extra yellow wire. Wrap that around the top, maybe a little bit towards the middle. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect. And then, now see, I didn't give myself enough slack. Try it out. Does my electromagnet work when I use my switch? Okay. So again, electromagnet is wrapped around the top. Step 3. The starter is going to wrap the wire around the middle of the rivet and record how many washers get picked up. So my wire is all messy and wrapped around the top. So what I'm going to do is starter, you're just going to unroll it. And now you're going to wrap it in the middle. So anywhere in these first 2 black rings. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, but it just needs to be somewhere in the middle of the rivet. I'm going to give myself some room here. Now I'm going to test it. Turn my switch on. Ooh. Looks like I'm picking up like a few here and there. They're kind of sticking to it, but I'm not really picking any up. So again, wrap it around the middle of the rivet. Step 4. The reporter is going to wrap the wire around the bottom of the rivet and record how many washers get picked up. So right now our yellow wire is wrapped around the middle of our rivet in our complete electromagnetic circuit. I'm going to undo that in the middle. Let me do it so you can see it. I'm going to undo that in the middle and I'm going to wrap it around the bottom of our circuit. I'm going to wrap it around, the bottom of our rivet. I'm going to wrap it around the bottom of our rivet. The first 2 times I did this, when I wrapped it around the top and when I wrapped it around the middle, I really didn't pick any washers up, which makes me think that my electromagnetic strength, my electromagnetic force is pretty weak. It was a pretty weak net magnet. So what I'm going to try to do now is wrap it around the bottom of my rivet. Again, doesn't need to be perfect. And see what that does. Give myself some room. Alright, I've got it wrapped around the bottom. Let's see what happens. Hold down my switch. Check it out. Looks like bottom is where it's at. So again, step 4. The reporter, and the reporter only, is going to wrap the yellow wire around the bottom of your rivet and record how many washers are being magnetized.